Good afternoon and welcome to the weekly G-Mineo update. In this week's G-Mineo update, we are talking about jobs right here in America. That's right, people, Insomniac Games is hiring and you could be the one to develop their next game. In tonight's segment, we're talking about where to find Iron Man collectibles that might be worth a few grand, how Microsoft is shaking things up in the gaming world, and finally, shit-talking aliens with anal probe guns, and why it is a bad time to be a pro wrestler in the Supreme Court. All of that coming up. Okay, the jacket's coming off now. I did the bit, it was funny, cool. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another G-Mineo video. As I intimated in the introduction, this is the weekly G-Mineo update. We're talking a few different topics this week. Before I get too far and get into the anal probes and stuff, I wanted to make sure to tell you guys to hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you could, and, you know, ring the little bell and everything to make sure you get notifications, because this is gonna be happening every week. That is right, you're gonna see this face, maybe not, maybe someone else's, but this face every single week, talking to you guys about gaming updates, news, interesting events that have happened, conspiracy theories like we had this week, and more. So again, please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, thank you so much. Do you need a job? Because Insomniac Games is hiring. Over the week, the company released a hiring post onto their website that said that they were looking for 5 new positions to develop a new secret unnamed multiplayer project. Insomniac Games are the developers of Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, as well as the Spider-Man games. Sources within the company have denied that it has anything to do with Ratchet & Clank. They're very firm on the fact that it won't have a multiplayer section. There is some speculation about whether or not it could be some sort of multiplayer pack or expansion for the Spider-Man universe, but most people think that it's going to be an all-new project, so lots of speculation going on. What would you guys like to see from Insomniac Games? I mean, let me know in the comments down below. In other news, Marvel is getting into the NFT game. Now, Marvel announced last week that they were going to be partnering up with Orbis blockchain technologies. They're probably going to be worth a lot of money. Let's face it, if this chick can make 500 grand by selling Disaster Girl memes, then odds are that someone's going to pay a lot of money for some unique digital Marvel collectibles. I guess get your digital wallets ready and cash out some of those Bitcoins. Also, last week we got a glimpse through the window of the future. That is right, Windows 11 is officially coming in the fall. We don't have a precise release date exactly yet, but Windows did do a presentation where they announced a lot of the updates that are going to be coming for Windows 11, and apparently all they could talk about was how big it is for gamers.
I want to talk to you about something awesome. Gaming. Gamer.
Gaming, gaming, games, gaming, game, which brings me to the final and most important thing of all. Games.
They're including a lot of the Xbox hardware like auto HDR and direct storage into the OS, and it sounds like they have a really interesting vision for the overall sort of cross-compatibility of the Windows 11 OS. They hinted at some cross-compatibility with like Apple and things like that, updates and suites to incorporate more support for the Android app. Also, very important, it's free, which is awesome. Abandoned is kind of an apt title for this particular story because the long-awaited sort of survival horror RPG from Bluebox, the long anticipated.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The long-awaited horror game from Bluebox Studios has been pushed back, the reveal of it rather, has been pushed back even further to August, and speculation abounds. There's a huge conspiracy going on that believes that Bluebox Studios is actually a fake studio front for Hideo Kojima, who is working on a reimagining of Silent Hill. He has intimated in the past in several different interviews that that is the #1 game that he wants to sort of remake or retackle. Bluebox Studios founder Hassam Karamar has come out publicly and said that Bluebox has nothing to do with Hideo, that it has nothing to do with Silent Hill, but fans are unconvinced. Hideo has had some particularly interesting stunts in the past when it comes to teasing games and teasing releases, so kind of interested to see. I mean, time will tell, of course, but it's a really interesting story to follow, and I might do a further in-depth video on this particular controversy and conspiracy theory.
Oh shit, buddy, I gotta dig a little deeper.
Just because it is fascinating, but might be more on that coming up. In addition, some new rumors have swirled about a new state of play coming as early as July a French media outlet by the name of GMineo, I think is how it said. I don't know, I'm not French. But they released an article over the weekend, or on Friday, I believe, that cited a odd Reddit comment that hinted at a new State of Play presentation coming as soon as July 8th. It's been corroborated by a few sort of disparate comments, and apparently GMineo has a source that says that it's coming soon. So maybe be on the lookout for that. And if it is confirmed in the near future that a new State of Play is coming out, then you will hear about it here for sure. Who knows? It'll be kind of interesting to find out. Also, it's a really bad time to be a pro wrestler suing a game developer right now. Over the last week, 2 wrestlers have lost major lawsuits against big game developers. Booker T lost in a lawsuit against Call of Duty developer Activision because he claimed that their operator Profit was a direct ripoff of his GI Bro personalities from his early wrestling days. And as it turns out, in the words of the Activision defense attorney, you can't copyright an attitude. Ouch. Also, this guy lost a case in the Supreme Court, no less, over whether or not the Gears of War character Cole was a direct ripoff of one of his wrestling persona. It turns out, being a mean guy with a mean look on your face isn't something that you can sue people over. But that wraps it up for sort of like big headlines in gaming. But now let's move on to new releases that are dropping this week in gaming. Curved Space, an intense arcade-style twin-stick shooter, has you battling space-invading spiders, and that is coming this week to Nintendo Switch, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation. I don't know why, but it immediately conjures image of that old movie Starship Troopers. I don't know if you guys ever saw it. It was super corny, but super awesome, and they like, and they, blew up big bugs. That is coming this week to all the platforms aforementioned. Be sure to check it out. Check it out. Hey, be sure to check it out. Also, as mentioned in my intro, if you want to play a shit-talking alien with an anal probe gun and various other over-the-top weaponry who is in search of human DNA to save his own race because their genitals have withered away thanks to nuclear exposure, check out Destroy All Humans, releasing for Nintendo Switch later this week. It looks to be a really, really funny game. I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about it. Haven't had the opportunity to play, but coming out for Nintendo Switch this week. Be sure to check that out. Also, if you want to play a demon slayer who's ripping and tearing his way through various hordes of the underworld to the sweet, sweet musings of death metal, you can check out Doom Eternal, which is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X. Was one of the best reviewed games of 2020, actually. So if you want to check it out, you can do that and play it, like I said, on those new consoles starting this week. Also, starting on June 29th, if you want to play an emotionally supporting game where you can make wonderful, deep, long-lasting connections with friends, you can check out Sky Children of Light, releasing on the Nintendo Switch. They look like very wholesome little games. So, contrast that with the demon slaying that we were just talking about. If you want to, get into your feels a little bit, you can check out this game. That about does it for new releases or new games coming out this week. And now let's move on to updates. Starting tomorrow, June 29th, Apex Legends is beginning its Genesis Collection event, which is a 2-week event where there's going to be some older maps that are brought back to the platform for players to experience. It'll be interesting to see how veteran players of the game bring new characters, new guns, and new hardware to these sort of old and well-loved maps. I think it's going to do really well, and people are going to enjoy it quite a bit. I love it when games do this because it's such a treat for longtime fans of any franchise. Dying to Know Episode 2 streams live July 1st this week on Twitch. Now, Dying to Know is a series that they created in order to sort of give out information about the long-awaited sequel to Dying Light, which was originally slated for a spring of 2020 release and now is not even slated to release until December of 2021. So it's a very far cry away from its original intended release date. It has suffered a lot of delays, which is a huge bummer, especially for someone who played Dying Light and absolutely loved the game. The free running mechanic, the grapple hooks, the fact that it made nighttime actually terrifying was super, super cool. And I'm very excited for the second installment in the franchise. But this new episode, streaming on July 1st, should give us some more information about the game. There's been some teasers about sort of some new zombie types that are going to be debuted or released that we can look forward to. So very much looking forward to that event, and we'll probably tune in, or at the very least catch the highlights starting on July 1st. Well, that wraps up our gaming updates for this week and brings us on to the film section of our G-Mineo update. And holy fists of fury, Batman. The new Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings trailer dropped, I believe, on like Friday or Thursday of this week, and it's awesome. This movie, I mean, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been hitting home runs for like 12 years now. They do not look to be disappointing anytime soon. This movie looks fantastic. I absolutely love the idea that we're gonna sort of see a completely different part of the world than we're used to seeing from the MCU. I mean, we're going way east to check out some of the sort of origins of very different characters within the MCU, which is super exciting. The movie looks awesome, and I can't wait to see it. You can check out the trailer. I'll probably drop it in the link in the description so you guys can go check it out, but super great. And also, Loki. Now, I haven't watched the show yet, but I've heard some amazing things. I'm probably gonna binge watch it at some point this week or next. Looks awesome. Episode 3 just aired, and the reviews have been really cool. There's been some speculation about sort of what happens, no spoilers, but check that show out. I can't wait to see how the MCU uses the sort of shows to sort of set up phase 4 of the cinematic universe. And finally, the last segment of our little update is our setup highlight. Now, I was cruising over Instagram over the weekend, and I couldn't help but come across this setup by High Octane Zero. This setup is absolutely beautiful. It looks so clean, and I think the thing that I like about it the most is that sort of the color palette of the room is really neutral. So what he can do is he can use the nano lights and the RGB setup in the computer to sort of completely revamp and change the look of his gaming space with just the addition of light. Now, I'm a big fan of that by itself. Like, I love the idea of the versatility in this setup, and it just looks so clean. He's got those beautiful monitors, that amazing PC. But High Octane, you're doing it right, man. Congrats on the setup. It is mint. That pretty much wraps it up, guys, for the G-Mineo weekly update. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment down below, let me know what you guys think about this week's gaming news, and I will see you in the next one. And don't forget, game it till you make it. Catch you later, guys.